and burn. Wicked man can never take the righteous man turn. So we have this that say them have a bar until the wicked bars like them Jericho's walls. Yo. They say you out for salary, corruption in their soul, destruction in their mentality, far from reality, life with no morality.
Here on the Reggae Surge show, we're talking about conversational peace, and all the tracks that I'm hearing so far, I'm loving it. I always like the fact that you take a serious tone, but you don't make it too serious. You're just like a messenger. You're not preaching to anybody. You're not trying to cast any kind of blame or make yourself to be well, I'm this perfect guy and you should live the way that I kind of live. You just share life. You share love. So what I want to ask, what inspires you, especially during the times that you're creating albums or projects and things like that.
It's life, but I really say, I don't try to force records. I don't go into the studio and then try to make records and it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Really I allow, my ancestors to use me as a vehicle, and as a vessel to deliver certain messages. And that's what I feel like I'm channeling from that ancestral realm, and that's why the records, they just come. And sometimes it'll be 3 o'clock in the morning, I gotta wake up and I'm just like, oh man, I'm putting it down, it's just flowing from me, and it's like, man, I can't even write fast enough. This stuff is coming, and so I've learned to just be inspired by those ancestral forces.
Mm-hmm. No, I can dig that.
Yeah,
I can definitely dig that. I mean, so far, have you had any kind of like negative criticism towards?
You always have that. You always have that. When you're putting out this. This truth, you always have people who don't want that information out there. So I just don't listen to it because I just don't pay it any attention.
Now, has there ever been a moment where somebody's been a doubter, or they come at you and you're like, well, I was listening to your music and I found this wrong with it, and have you ever had a conversation with them and I wouldn't say like change their mind, but at the end of the conversation they see it differently than what than before? They're probably a little less angry, or they're like, has that ever happened to you?
Nah, because I wouldn't even entertain the conversation. You know what I mean? It's not even worth my time. Because I feel like I'm a man on a mission.
Mm-hmm.
And because I feel like these ancestors are using me. It's like I'm on a mission. So it's like, what could you tell somebody like Malcolm X, or what could you even tell Haile Selassie? Like, you couldn't even tell those guys anything. You know what I'm saying? And now listen, I'm on a mission, and I'm on a mission from divine. So there's nothing you can tell me to stop me from doing what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So you sometimes you just gotta just take all of that chatter and just shut it off. You know what I mean?
Cut it off.
But you're always gonna have people who doubt, and you're always gonna have people who don't like what you do, and that's necessary because that's a part of balance. Everything is not always one way. We have a positive, negative, we have masculine and feminine, so things have to be balanced. So.
Gladys Knight made us feel right on that train to Georgia during the midnight. Eddie James, Donnie Hathaway, Barry White, Teddy P had us turning off the lights. Al Green is the Sam Cooke, the voice of Isaac Hayes at his song.
Really, it's about educating people, man, and letting them know that we had these great, angels that came and visited this earth and gave us some of this great material. So, I just had to share that with, especially the younger generation. These were angelic beings who came and delivered such great messages and great music, man, and I just wanted to call their names and bring them back into existence.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's all about the style, It's all about, preserving like this type of feeling that, when everybody talks about how music was, so great back then, and how we have to keep preserving like this type of style of music, because it's getting lost now. Like the youth today, I don't know, I've always seen it like it's more so of an attitude thing than really kind of paying homage to what we've kind of grown up with, or what we're building and kind of building on top of that. So a lot of people, I don't know, I go to shows and it's like people aren't kicking it. Like when you go to shows, it's like nobody's really bringing the pain and nobody's, you know, bringing like the soul, soul, you know, to it. Everybody's standing around and watching this artist. It's like, no, man, you gotta
soul music. Yeah, soul music has a call and response feeling to it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just an artist performing, but the audience has to be actively involved. And so that's what soul music is all about. What happened to that? And so we want to get back to that.
True.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I want to ask you, what was I know you said it's been about 2 years since Soul Sessions.
Yeah.
Soul Sessions, you know, how was that wave? How was that wave, you know, after releasing that and, you know.
Soul Sessions never died. That's what's crazy. You know, I thought that, you know, you put a record out, you put an album out, Soul Sessions sells the same way as if I brought it out today.
Wow.
It's still selling.
Good.
And I've been touring off of it, and it was almost a question, should I even bring this album out, because the energy is still there from Soul Sessions. But, you know, I just said it's time, because especially with, you know, the Michael Browns and all of this situations going on, I have to speak about these things, and that's what caused me to put out new music.
Yeah, that, you know, we appreciate that, you know.
Yeah.
You know, never question that. You know, you have to, especially when events like this happens. I mean, music tends to sometimes kind of catalog what's going on, you know, here out in the real world, you know, that captures that mood. You know, all the songs that were made during, you know, the Vietnam War and all those anti-protest songs and whatnot, you know. You know, this, not to say that we want to keep holding this on, you know, with all these tragic deaths, but we have to mark these, because it's slowly but surely, you know, our history is being wiped away. They're, you know, they're going to be saying like, oh no, we weren't shooting y'all back in the, you know, it was all good. Like, no, we have to have albums like this, and you know, I'm excited. So we're gonna get into this other track. Would you like to talk about this next track?
Yeah.
That we got on here.
Yeah, this features a friend of mine named Corey. The song is called Change. And, you know, when I talk to people, especially, I'm a knowledge connoisseur. You know what I'm saying? I'm always reading and always have all this information. So I had a group of young people came up to me and they were talking about, hey man, you know, we want some information, we want some knowledge. You know, and they were talking about the Obama deception and certain documentaries, and I'm like, no, I said the information you need is what's going to transform you. It's going to cause you to change for the better. You know, you don't need just a bunch of stuff that you can regurgitate, but you need information that's going to transform the essence of who you are and make you change for the better. So that's what this record touches on. You know, regardless of politics and religion, we need to change as a, you know, as a culture, as a community, and that's what this record addresses.
Living Image is in the building. You know what I'm saying? We know we have to get him on the MIC. You know, Cypher.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yes.
Let's do it.
Oh man, y'all two nicest MCs in the building right now, yo. You know what I mean? We're gonna do a little Jamaican to Wilmington link up right here in the studio.
This is the way we're gonna start it.
Yeah.
This is the way we're gonna start it. This is the way we're gonna start it. We tell them war, no violence, no put we nowhere. All they put you in a one apartment for you decay. War, no violence, no put we nowhere. All it to do, only they use them, straight they use them. Repeat the things they made the Ella say. Love to set no example for the youths them today. They will do the wrong things and not the youths them way. Corrupt the youths them brains, only the youths them.
This is just a scrimmage, yo. I got the CD in my hand. It's of that living image. It's that reggae sensation. It's the top of the nation. And when I say that sensation, you know no divination on this microphone. I turn it around and then I go and read it. So before I came here, you know I got some with it. Yeah, Halle Selassie, yeah. Yes, we have to praise them. Yeah, non-stop. Victory, I saved them. So grandma and papa, that be that first song. And when it drop up on your plate, you know it can't be wrong. And said them feds payroll, feds on them payroll. They do anything that the devil says so. So mama, yeah, yes, thank you mama. And I revisit Sizzla. We can't get no drama, so find time for y'all lady. Oh okay and find time for my baby. I say okay that of the song. Oh yes, it's road user. Too many people are evil. Yes, them are abusers. So high, so high. Oh yes, I get so high, and then I reach the sky. They often ask me why. Okay, that last song is silence from the wicked man. We want silence. The youth in Baltimore, they had that violence, but it's needed. Anytime you start a revolution on this microphone, no written rhymes and this be no solution. Bring me in.
Tell them sit down with the war and crime.
Yeah.
Love for your
The Father leads the way. The Father leads the way. I get down in the morning before I wake up. I pray and say, my ancestors channel me this good music, and with this good music, you know you can't abuse it. Got these phones everywhere, so they got to record it. They got to afford it. No, they gonna record it. Aborted that mission. We slay the competition, and yes, we leave them wishing. They acting like they fishing for nothing. They blunting. You know we got the words. I just came up in here. I'm chilling with my man Serge, and you know we got these words on the verge of that good thing. Reggae and hip hop is all interconnected. From Jah it is protected. MCs they better stand back. You know they're so affected. So I say it's number one sound. It's the number one sound. Number one sound. We got that number one sound. Living image here. Oh yes, that number one sound. Be that reggae sensation is the number one sound.
We not get F on no black or no white. Taking people like that's not right.
Rude boy style. Yo, that's what I said. You just can't just be throwing any guy that's on the mic. Like, here,
We got the professionals in the building, you know.
Oh man, it's too tough. Too tough. Too tough. Specifically here to talk about conversational peace. And you know it's new. Just came out on May Day, and it's available. Make sure you guys go onto the website
Mayday.
and check it out. We've been playing some tracks off the album tonight, and you know we played Change, we played What Happened to Soul, we played Yonder, and you know I wanted to ask you, you know, at the end of the day, what do you want the youth to get out of this particular album after listening to it?
To be empowered. You know what I'm saying? To be empowered, to be inspired and motivated to change for the better. So that's really what I want the youth to take out of it. And, you know, the messages are written in a way where they can still have fun and they can still party and dance, you know, and while they're partying and dancing subconsciously, I'm putting messages in their head, you know, positive things. So.
Yeah. How now? You know, a lot of. I know we were talking behind the scenes about the Baltimore riots, and you know the people labeling these youth thugs and whatnot. But I had a friend who took an interesting kind of like turn with it. He was like, yo, you know, all these kids who are mobilizing and doing these things. He's like, yo, when things really start going down, he's like, I'm gonna want them in my corner because you know. They're out there. They have this energy. They're out there and they're ready to mobilize. You know, now how much of that statement do you think is true? As far as do you think that when you know if we do eventually have some type of revolutionary type thing, do you think we'll be able to count on the youth to kind of
absolutely
be there?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the youth who got the attention of the country. You know what I'm saying? And they are a different breed, and we have to respect that. They are brave because we probably wouldn't have responded like that in our generation.
Yeah.
But look at them. They're saying, you know what? We're tired of. We done march peacefully, right? And we've done that over and over again with little to no results. So you can see what they did, and now they have the attention of the masses. You know.
Good point.
I love our youth. Our youth are the warriors, you know what I'm saying? It's a warrior spirit and a warrior mentality here. And it's been brewing for a long time. It's a beautiful thing to see that. As long as we can keep it organized and unified,
I totally agree. I mean, channeling that anger in a constructive way, I think so. I mean, nobody ever wants to see anybody tear down their own neighborhood or local businesses, but I felt like they were very justified. The anger that they had, and that's the one thing that I don't like when you know, the media comes in and they're like, you know, they're wondering, they're just like, I don't know why, like they're so upset, like really, you don't know why? Like have you ever been on Amtrak rolling through downtown Baltimore and see the rows and rows of abandoned houses?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that alone in itself, it should tell you something.
Mortgage companies, bankers, those are thieves.
Yeah.
You see, they steal from the people. You know, they're the ones who created the subprime mortgages. And the reason why Baltimore, there's so many houses that are not occupied is because people were kicked out of those houses and there was a lot of crooked business going along. So we got to really look at the narrative and put people on, you know, on the line. These bankers and these lawyers and these politicians, they should be the ones who we're talking about as thugs, as killers, as murderers. Those are the ones that we need to direct our attention to. Our youth are just, you know, our youth are responding, and I love it. Yeah, we, like Bob Marley said, burning and looting tonight.
Tear it down.
They love Bob Marley. They sing all of the one love and all that. But when Bob Marley say burning and looting tonight, see, they can't get with that.
Nah,
say if you love Bob Marley, love the whole of Bob Marley.
All of it.
Don't pick and choose what you like. You know what I'm saying?